Hello and welcome to Planet 40k. I'm Carl.
And I'm Eugenio, and today we're going to be discussing the new 9th edition game type called Crusade. So the new Crusade game type is a more narrative-driven affair, allowing you to take results from one battle to the next in an ongoing saga. Carl, do you want to take us through what we know so far?
Yeah, so what they've released so far is you can basically create a small starter force and build it into a larger force. Codex are going to have their own faction-specific rules to add to their own flavour, and they're going to have their own relics and upgrades and whatnot. So you can spend requisition points which you earn throughout your battles on things like I said, relics, upgrades, and other units. Any injuries that your characters suffer during the battles, they're going to be carried on, and they're going to be called battle scars. They're going to be passed on through each battle, so you may get some negative traits as you go on. You can play a Crusade army versus a non-Crusade army. We'll go through that in a bit. Crusade uses power level, not points though, although I'm sure that they can adjust this, as one power is approximately 20-25 points. You can create a faction from the Imperium or Chaos or Xenos of up to 50 power level, which is again approximately 1,000 points. This creates a roster. From the roster, you can then select for each individual battle. You can select, whatever you're playing in that specific game. So you might be just playing a 20 power level game. So you choose your 20 power level from that roster only. You don't need to use everything in your roster, but you can choose from that roster only. It's more like a pool.
So here's an example of a relic that Games Workshop have previewed. So this is called Xenotech Digital Lasers. So it's a short-range pistol. They've left out the strength AP and damage on this one, but it looks like a decent weapon. It gives out mortal wounds. So this is something that you'll probably be able to buy with your requisition points as you collect them throughout your battles. So this one is one of the battle scars that we've got. It looks like you're going to have to roll a d6 and you'll get one kind of battle scar depending. So this one is walking wounded. So subtract 1 inch from this unit's movement characteristic. In addition, subtract 1 from advance and charge rolls made for this unit. So he's hurt his leg or something. So you've got to bear in mind that if one of your characters gets this battle scar, they're going to keep that for the rest of the campaign that you're doing. So so that's a good rule there. And lastly, we have increased supply limit. This is another example of spending requisition points. So this time it's going to increase your roster to choose from. So here it says increase your Crusade forces supply limit by 5 power. So this just gives you more options when you're creating a list for your Crusade. So Carl, do you want to talk about your feelings about this Crusade? I know a lot of people are really excited about this. I think I am as well.
I am, because the reason I play Blood Bowl, which is a bit of a different game that Games Workshop produce, and in that game you get skills and you keep the skills throughout, similar to this, like a Crusade. You keep those skills throughout your next game, then your next game, and it just gives you a bit more feel towards your army and your characters in particular, like, especially if you're naming them. And like an example they've given, the walking wounded, and you say you've lost your captain in a battle, and the next battle he's got a limpy leg, and you're going to remember that for the next, until your Crusade ends. It could be 10 games, it could be 100, whatever you want. It's a characteristic he now has, and it's very unique to you and your game.
You get attached. Model.
So it's a really good attachment, especially when you spent time painting it and making it look good and playing with it. I think it's a quite a nice touch. I like that part of it.
So yeah, I know when you always talk about Blood Bowl and how, like, you soup someone up and then you roll badly on a table and then they die or whatever. So yeah, I can imagine maybe like if you roll badly on the wounded traits table, on the battle scars table, then it'll be interesting if you lose your guy forever.
Yeah, I mean, it might affect you differently. Like, for example, the example they've given us, subtract 1, may not affect you if you've got like a I don't know, a Psyker, a Neurothrope, for example, at the back of the board that doesn't really move much, then that walking wounded isn't going to do much. But I'm sure there's some other deadly ones that might really affect you. So
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
hopefully,
Yeah.
it makes it different each time. I do like as well the fact that they're going to make it faction specific. So when they release new codexes, I'd imagine they've got specific relics for each faction, and maybe even wounds and other requisition point upgrades. They're all going to be specific to you and your army, which is another cool feature.
Yeah, I like the way because like often when we play, there'll be like it's kind of when you have with the Space Wars, you have like the lone wolf stratagem where you have like one guy left in the unit and then you can soup him up. So like, and sometimes there's just one guy in the unit and you're just like, you can't kill him, and it's like this guy's a legend. But then like after the game, that's it. But so
you've lost it, yeah.
So this is kind of cool. You can like name him and keep him keep him for the whole campaign. Yeah. So
and you can still do it against non-Crusade armies as well. So you can play other people in your local clubs or your friends, and they might not be doing a Crusade, or they might be in a different part of the Crusade. Like they might be on their 6th or 7th game. You might be on your very first game. So you're sort of leveling up at different stages, but you're balancing it out. I'd imagine you'll be able to balance it out with the power level if it's not balanced, or if you're playing somebody who hasn't got a Crusade army at all. I'm sure you could work out the difference and then give whoever's got the least, give them the additional, or they can have a choice of the similar options you've got, like they give them some battle scars or some relics to choose from out of a table just to even it up a bit. So that'll make it a bit more balanced.
Yeah, I really like the idea because it's going to help like narrative gamers. So you could even, if someone's got like a campaign going and someone wanted to join, you could even make it into some kind of narrative. Like, I don't know, these guys have come in and, they're trying to attack these people for whatever reason, and you can kind of bring it into the narrative. And I really like that idea. It makes it like you were saying, you get a bit more attached to some of these characters when they when you've played with them for the whole Crusade or whatever. So yeah,
especially
really like
the roster part. The main thing as well, the fact that you have to design a roster, like a roster army before you begin. So your roster won't be the same in one campaign to the next. So say if you get a 50 power level roster, and you have 10 campaign, Crusade games within that roster, and then you start again a new Crusade with 50 power level, it might be a complete different roster. You might pick a complete different unit. So you're not just picking from the whole of the codex anymore. You're picking a roster from, say, the whole of the Imperium or the whole of Chaos or the whole of Xenos. And it might be completely different the next time you pick to start again, if you know what I mean, like a reset.
Yeah.
So it gives so much more to the game. Like it's not going to be the same old after a few goes. It's going to really last.
Yeah, I like what they said about bringing like faction specific stuff in the codexes as well, because I was thinking of my Sam Han Eldar. So like they have jet bike stuff, so maybe they'll get like a cool jet bike, or I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it.
Yeah,
there's so much they could do. Yeah, there's loads of stuff.
Everything's going to have their own like unique abilities and battle scars as well. Like, can you imagine? It's not going to say walking wounded for a Necron, is it? It's going to be something a bit more robotic. I can't think of something on the spot, but something like Terminator style, where he loses all the flesh on his hand. It will be something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait to start playing this. I think we'll be on this straight away when we're playing.
Yeah, I think we tried to do it because they had it with the Chaos. What was it called?
Path to Glory.
Path to Glory. So they kind of
cool, but
we just never did it because we weren't really. We tried to make our own version, but
it's because you were Space Wars at the time, so we tried to convert it, but it wasn't quite balanced enough, so it didn't work. I know it's just for fluff, so it doesn't matter too much, but when you're trying to play a bit more competitive, it's not always the best, but this should brush it all up a bit.
Yeah, cool. So thanks for watching the video, everyone. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up And if you'd like to support the channel, please consider subscribing. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.